Gather around. It's time for the show to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is...
Hey everyone, my name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
All right, there were so many matches this year that were just too much.
So this won't be a shocker because we've had a handful of really awesome matches that we just can't stop talking about.
How many times have these guys fought? Like it's been quite a bit.
I've been saying this all year. They're just so great to watch. We saw the heel turn coming, and then when it happened, nice and bloody, both dramatic and beautiful.
You are now entering the ring with Chutes and Ladders podcast. Here are your hosts, Desiree and Jason.
Chutes and Ladders, Money in the Bank recap. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
All right, what an event. We're going to get right into it. Before we do, what are your initial thoughts, Des?
It was a lot better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Really awesome matches. All of them, actually. I enjoyed it all. And usually Money in the Banks are very hit or miss with me. I know you love them. But this one, I actually really loved.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to rip into it as bad as I once said in our preview because of a certain winner. Because overall it was actually better than I thought. But again, for the second year in a row, I think the women's Money in the Bank match was way better. And before I deep dive into that, that's our first match. So what do you have to say about this match?
That was awesome. And you called the winner. So good job on that. I thought everyone did a tremendous job.
100%.
The women, the women's roster altogether is just a powerhouse, but these six, I love how they did a split of the new girls and our vets, and such chemistry, the bumps that they took. I loved the nod with Rhea and Alexa just smiling at each other, and then she even used Alexa as a weapon. I love that. But yeah, I'm really happy that Naomi pulled out the win. I really thought it could have potentially would have been Rhea or anybody else, but Naomi grabbing that briefcase. I love where this is going to take her.
All right, so it goes without saying, I'm pretty sure you're giving this an A.
I'm giving it an A.
I'm giving this an A+. This actually may be the best women's in the Money in the Bank match I've ever seen from start to finish. The finish itself was perfection because everyone thought that Rhea's going to win. They decided to tease that really hard. And even when Naomi was about to grab the case, there was obviously some doubt. Okay, someone's going to pull her off, and they didn't. And I am actually very thrilled because she served her dues. And it's about time that she finally won this match, and she's going to be the champion.
I'm excited.
Absolutely. All right. So next match, an impromptu with Dominic Mysterio retaining his title. What did you think about this match? I have my thoughts.
I was very hesitant when I found out that they added that immediately, and I was like, oh, I don't know. And then with Octagon and coming from TNA, I'm like, I knew he wasn't going to lose his title, but I hated how they kind of preface it like, oh, wouldn't it be really cool if he did win it? I'm like, no, I don't want him to win it, this quick. I get it. But Dominic Mysterio, let me tell you, I am really starting to like him.
Same here.
Like him a lot. And he's improved so much in the ring. He's had match after match that was truly amazing. I loved it that it was short and sweet. They did have a couple of spots there. He had a really good 619 and a frog splash, of course. And I'm glad he retained. And you know what? It wasn't terrible. I'll give it a B, but I am loving Dirty Dom.
Sure. I'm going to give it a B as well. Look, we said this before. I think they need to slow down on Saturday Night Main Events because I think this is my theory. They realized that 4 matches weren't enough. They had to add one, and then they basically pulled an AEW. So they basically just threw a match because they knew they had to fill time. They could have set this match up, especially once they announced, AAA and all these different things. They could have actually had a somewhat decent storyline on this. They didn't. They ran out of time. I didn't like that fact. Again, I think they really need to slow down on Saturday Night Main Events because you're kind of watering down the PLEs, and Money in the Bank is a great PLE. So, but yeah, great performances, and I'll give it a B.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, next match, we have the IC strap Becky Lynch over Lyra. What's your grade, and what do you think?
This one is the one that shocked me. I did not care about this match. I even wanted to go and do other things, like go take a shower. This is my break time. I could have my own intermission. They surprised me. I thought that was a hell of a banger of a match of theirs, and I think they have really great chemistry in the ring. I'm glad Becky won. But this match was a lot more aggressive than I thought it would be, and that's what I love about it. These kind of matches is I want to see these girls go at it and beat the hell out of each other, and they did not hold back, and that's what I loved. That one truly surprised me. So I'll give it a B plus. It was good.
Yeah, same here. I'll give it a B plus. I think we called it. We said Becky was going to win, and it made no sense for her to lose twice in a row. I liked it. Yeah, nothing. I did like it. I'm kind of with you. I thought she elevated Ladder a little bit, so I think that was the biggest takeaway of the match.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next match, Money in the Bank men's. All right, I will hold my thoughts until you go first. Go ahead.
Well, I did predict Seth, so I was excited about that. However, I was like, am I really that excited? Because I really wanted LA Knight to win, and especially with us being in LA, for that, you would think that they would go for the hometown guy. He's super over. He did take an incredible bump towards the end. But there were some really awesome spots there. The fact with, who was it? Was it with El Grande throwing himself from one ladder to another to knock off Penta? That was by far the spot of the night. Yeah. Awesome. And even the bump that LA Knight took to throw down Penta. Was it Penta or it was El Grande? Mm-hmm. And then Penta came down too, and then with Seth climbing up. But yeah, really awesome spots. And then we got to see, who was it? Jacob and JC going against the other two. And so that's obviously going to line up a tag match between them. So, I mean, that was pretty obvious. But yeah, I mean, we knew Seth was probably going to win, and, you know, it is what it is, but it was solid. I liked it. I'll give it like an A minus.
Got it. I am not going to be as kind. So the spot that we just mentioned was by far the spot of the entire match. It was actually a really, really cool thing. They need to get rid of that Grande gimmick, though, and I love Chad Gable. I think it's time for him to shine. Yeah, it was dumb to have Seth Rollins win. Like, it made no sense. It did not move the... Like, first and foremost, listen, I like Seth Rollins, but him winning the match does not move the needle for anything, to be honest with you. He does not need another title, doesn't need the Money in the Bank. It's just silly. They could have basically pulled a Daniel Bryan or even Naomi. No one really... We didn't necessarily expect either one to win. Part of what makes the Money in the Bank is that surprise factor. They missed a huge opportunity. I'm going to give this a B minus.
You know what? And I've been reading reports too that with Knight, they didn't give it to him because they're going to give him a big push over the summer and he's going to get this feud at SummerSlam. And I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Same. Yeah, because SummerSlam is a couple weeks away. I mean,
yeah. And at this point, he should have been pushed a while ago, even years ago. And, you know, whatever. It is what it is. So we'll see it. Mm-hmm.
I know. Swing and a miss for me, though. I'm sorry. Second year in a row. But and then we end with the tag match. Cody and Jey Uso get the pin. I actually called this finish too.
Yeah. It was a lot better than I thought it would be.
Same here. That's one thing I'll say.
That is one huge positive. That was the one thing I said at the very end of the match. I was like, well, we got exactly what we wanted. We wanted Cody and Jey to win. You know, I feel like if Logan and Cena won, it would have been like a major disaster just because of his past matches and just, you know, hitting someone with a belt and a low blow. That would have been boring. So I'm glad. And you know what? They had some really good spots. You know, of course, Logan is amazing in the ring. He had the drone. And Cody even did his like Stardust cartwheel, which I thought was fun. But, you know, it was a good match. I enjoyed it. I'd give it like a B plus. And plus, we got to see R-Truth come back. So
yeah, that's by far. That's what's going to give me a B plus as well. It's because I don't think this was originally part of the storyline. Apparently, reading reports, they actually kind of ran with it. This is one thing I will say. They're actually using social media and other data points to basically say, hey, look, this is what the fans really want. Let's go ahead and give it to them. So I think that was by far that highlight of the match. This is pretty obvious. I think Cody's gonna face Cena at SummerSlam, which is why I predicted that he was gonna pin him to begin with. So
Yeah.
I liked it. I mean, yeah, B plus. Interesting how they're gonna use R-Truth.
I know. And I love how during the post show, one of the guys asked Triple H, hey, did you listen to the fans this time? I'm assuming you did since he's re-signed. And Triple H's response is, well, did you enjoy the show? It's part of the show. No, it wasn't. We know. There was an uproar backstage with the entire roster on top of fans and social media that you finally listened and we want him back and we got him. I know exactly. That's what happened. So, hey, let's do that with LA Knight and a couple of other people. Let's push them. So, yeah.
You know what? I was going to ask about your final thoughts, but everything you just said are my final thoughts.
I think that's it. Yeah.
And one last thing, because he is the hottest wrestler right now, we're talking about him. Stay tuned because we're going to have a spotlight on Ron Killings very shortly.
Yeah. Can we handle the truth? I think we can.
Love it. All right. That actually wraps up this episode. What are your thoughts on Money in the Bank? Please DM us at the Shoots and Ladders. Like always, please like, share, and subscribe both on YouTube and Spotify. Once again, my name is Jason.
I'm Desiree Josen.
All right. Until next time, have a blessed day and a blessed week.
Bye, friends.
This has been Shoots and Ladders. Follow us for more content.